Welcome back to your fine and furry Friday send-off that is otherwise known as Disinformed After Dark. We are elated to have you here to join us for another stirring installment. I am Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Jonah.
And
Thanks for joining
he's
us.
doing Jonah yoga.
Gotta crack those fingers. You never know when you're gonna need them.
He said crack your fingers, not crack your mic, John.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, I know when I'm going to need him.
Also, before we hit roll, I was prepping videos to show you guys, and I realized that one of them, to keep the show clean, I can't show. So you guys are lucky. There's only one video to see today.
Keep it clean. How
I'd
clean
like-
do we have to keep it?
We got to keep it monetized for YouTube.
Do we?
Smart.
No.
If you guys
we
aren't-
still attempt to.
If you guys aren't worried about that, I'll show the first one.
Nah,
It's related to the
we're
fanfic
good.
read. Both of the clips that I have prepared for you are tangentially related to our fanfic reads.
Well, John has never written a comic book, as evidenced by the fact that he has neglected to go into the old standby of every single installment of this glorious little show is somebody's first installment
Sorry.
of this
My
glorious
apologies.
little show.
I get
And
excited.
so, this is a companion video cast that we do to sort of decompress from recording our podcast, the Disinformed podcast, that is, which airs every marvelous Monday on your preferred provider app, and you can find it anywhere disreputable podcasts flee from. So please join us there. What we typically do there is we will dive into a random esoteric topic, and in the course of explaining it to one another, we will occasionally lie. It's a lot of fun, unless Michael talks. And so,
Sadly, does happen.
occasionally. And
Then it's the most fun.
Fridays, here on the Tubes of You, we have this glorious companion to this week's episode where we talked about the Loftus Hall haunting, which was,
Babies in the walls.
dead baby cupboard.
Oh,
It's important to
There was
investigate.
A lot of bones.
Indeed.
Lot of baby bones.
So many tasty bones.
It had
Or
good
riblets.
bones.
The house had good bones. Just-
Low bones and high bones.
It had in spades, indeed.
It did.
Well, we're going to steer away from the devil baby killing into something a little more fun and lighthearted. And that will start with John giving us a taste of the TikTok. Just, squirting a little bit from the tip of the dick.
Sure will here. Let's do.
Let's don't.
Let's say
Maybe.
we didn't. Let's say we did and don't.
Don't be a don't be, Raj. Be a doobie.
Doobie doo.
Where are you?
We've got some work to do now.
Doobie doobie doo. When I splooge,
Fill
you're
the
going to
void.
get to spew now.
Why is it? Oh, it
Did you
was
say
working
fill the
for-
void?
I
No.
said something.
And I'll be there.
Oh,
to
here we
get
go. Okay, sorry, I was lost,
Oh
but
my
now I
goodness.
found.
And we found the dead air cupboard.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
So
Why?
You
This
found Michael's middle
why?
school girlfriend.
Aha.
This is
Oh,
related
no.
to the first fanfic that we read, My Immortal.
I'm Raven, your acid bath princess of the darkness.
And I'm Tara.
And we're sitting here in Tara's room, rocking out to MCR and celebrating 2009 or the new year. Which
How I
we
feel
don't
now.
really understand why people are making such a big deal about it, because really, one more year is one more year that everyone's closer to death.
I'm going to say,
mean-
if that was actually Tara,
See, I saw that and I was like, big if true.
I was going to
Big and
say,
true.
yeah, she looks like if Gerard Way got hit with a steam shovel in the face.
Which I
She
mean,
would be
kind
pretty
of-
comparable to his aesthetic.
Kind of fits.
Yeah.
And then this one is roughly related to both fanfics. And again, do we have to throw the warning out there? The only warning is that there's some language.
There will
You
be
know.
some emotionally
Not
stirring
words.
language contained in the following.
All right.
Hey Draco, the Hufflepuffs are doing thirst traps now. And they're probably gonna get tons of house points. So I'm gonna need you to stay in this bathroom, take your shirt off, and dance in front of that mirror like the fucking little slut.
I do not understand what just occurred here.
That's the Christian mom writing the fanfic.
But the guy didn't have any carpet on his chest. It was bald.
It's a glaring
saying it was a
oversight
woman.
on their
Yes.
fault.
Free the nipple.
Free the carpet.
I mean, it's not
Wait.
the mantra.
Stop
We,
the
Wait, not that
squeal!
carpet.
Stop the squeal!
Oh
Well,
god.
In
Oh.
any event, thank you for
oh,
indulging
boys,
me.
we've been.
I'm not trying to
Sorry.
co-opt other people's bits here, but I do enjoy showing.
But I'm gonna co-op people's bits.
Feels like
But
you are.
I do enjoy showing you guys a couple things when they
Your nipples?
yes.
Occasionally
Which
you
one is
Free the
couple
carpet.
and which one is things?
No, I think the main reason that I enjoy finding clips to share on this show is because Shane oftentimes has the best face to read when they're going on, because you are far removed from that dumb lane of thought. So it's nice to like force you like drag you to hell. So
I mean, it is
for
a
a
lot
second.
like showing a caveman, like any modern technology, where he just sits there and it's just like,
I actively avoid all of this mind-numbing content that
Sure
people
do.
claim to be contributing to the world. And so every clip is like a poniard. Stabs painfully.
Ouch.
And for
Much
that,
like,
thank you.
Jonah's cooking. Just this gastrointestinal distress is sure to follow, regardless of what you've done in advance.
You know what was really funny, and since he's here to defend himself,
I,
the last time that Jonah, Courtney, and I got to hang out, is they came over to the house to teach me how to make fried chicken.
Mm,
And I think I mentioned that
You
week
did.
on the show.
you did.
But Jonah showed up first because Courtney was either working or she had other things to do. So he was essentially like being the prepper, and he was getting things ready to go. And Jonah,
Hey.
you were awesome, so
Oh,
great
stop.
at like showing me what to do, and you were very, very informative. But what was hilarious is at the moment that Courtney, aka the Force, walked through the door, she did nothing, but essentially just like in this week's episode, and this, spoilers, what Shane made up, she throat slammed you onto the ground, and then just like she's like, oh, did he tell you that's what to do? Well,
nah, that's not how
I
do
did
it.
better in school. Yeah.
I
So,
feel something.
Essentially, she said he can,
That's on the back of my
always
neck.
aspire to be her sous chef for the rest of his life, right?
Essentially.
I mean, it means I get to eat the scraps, so super down.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like
Oh my
a
God.
bad gig.
How did we not even address that Jonah is a celebrity, because we've witnessed his dinners for months now?
Including Gatorade pasta or Powerade pasta.
Yeah, from
What's
the
Powerade?
Jonah's mouth. How was it?
So, like,
Describe
not
it and
bad.
tell us how it was.
I mean, it tastes like blue Powerade because it's a pervasive flavor.
True.
And blue Powerade isn't bad. It's just chewing it that's weird. So you just break your brain a little bit, and it's not like if you had to eat it, it's fine. A lot of people freaked out, like that's disgusting. Like tastes like
just
blue.
Blue. Yeah.
See, I thought it would have been more like a fine dining fruit chew.
Yeah, I mean that's a good.
Did your was your brown blue?
No,
After?
was your brown blue when you drink blue Gatorade, Powerade?
No, because I don't
Any
poop
aid?
out
When you drink
Powerade.
your AIDS.
It has electrolytes.
Firstly, John, I can just tell how little experience you have in the world of, ingestibles here, because it's not always brown, friend.
No, sometimes
So
it's
stop
pure
calling
black.
it brown. Liver failure.
Black poop is good poop, right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Do
The
not see a
best poop.
doctor.
Yeah, you don't want to show them that. That's your special secret.
You give those tasty treats to your wife in a sandwich.
Oh, or my dogs.
Tasty.
Your dogs give that to themselves.
It's called upcycling.
That's
Thanks,
Yeah.
Wayne.
Anywho,
Well, the secondary component of all of these After Dark episodes is that thanks to the incredibly insightful Chuck Klosterman, we have a hypothetical headed your way. So, is everybody prepared for this week's installment?
Oh, I sure am.
As you will remember,
but I'm ready to ride.
I threw the title at everybody last week as a teaser or a bit of a hint. And so we have The Musical Reversal. There's a good old cassette tape for those of you who were born prior to, 1992.
Did you know that the cassette tape is making like
Still
a comeback?
counts.
Sadly, yes.
Which I'm confused about.
Listen, I like
Why?
Guardians of the Galaxy. I do, but the fact
Oh.
that it brought back the worst audio format in the whole of human history, I will not
Seriously?
say was a favor to the rest of us who are, concerned about fidelity. Because one, a tape is just tedious. I mean, even more so than like
Sure,
the
yeah.
8-track, a cassette tape, unless you had, the designated cassette or one of the upscale tape players that would fast forward and
Rewind it, yeah.
rewind, song by song. You
Imagine
basically
with their
just,
silverback fingers rewinding that thing
Yes.
wasn't easy.
no, it was horrible. It's got these, plump little sausages trying to work the buttons. It's bad news bears. It's like my sex life. Just no one was happy, and I always finished in the wrong spot.
I feel like that book ends that more beautifully than any story that I could have had.
Mhm.
So thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Yep.
I'll
So
be
we do.
thinking about that for a good long while.
Not shocking. So, here
to
we
you,
are.
Chuck.
Assume everything about your musical tastes was reversed overnight.
Oh God.
So apparently I finally have some. Everything you once loved, you now hate. Everything you once hated, you now love.
That's how reversals work.
Oh,
He-
so
yeah,
yeah,
you've really-
because you probably
give me a
haven't
moment.
seen these.
Chuck Klosterman, much like the dictionary, says under redundant, see redundant.
He's a lot like me in that he likes to take
Mhm.
40 years to get to the point when he could easily summarize it in a word or two.
Hey, don't
You're
steal
saying
that from
He's
me.
a real foreplay guy, that Michael, and this fellow that does these cards.
Well, that assumes that for me, that assumes that I'm going places with it, which I'm not.
Finish the card.
I'm trying. For example, because we need to further illustrate this point for
Of
those
course
of
we
you
do.
who are not catching up. If your favorite band has always been REM, who,
Okay.
again, his touchstones.
Hey.
And Dewan, said this initially. Chuck is very dated, and that has
He did.
manifested itself week by week. They will suddenly sound awful to you.
As they did before. Yeah.
They will become the band you dislike the most. Certainly shares the dexterity of the phrase, anyway.
Yes.
By the same token, if you've never been remotely interested in the work of Yes or Jethro Tull, those two groups will seem instantly fascinating. If you generally dislike jazz today, you'll generally like jazz tomorrow. If you currently consider the first album by Veruca Salt to be slightly above average, you will abruptly find it to be slightly below average. Everything will become its opposite. Dogs
I
and
get
cats living together. Mass
Together
hysteria.
Forever.
But everything will remain in balance, and the rest of your personality will remain unchanged. Or so you say.
Like,
Yeah.
that is John's personality. It's his taste in music. I don't know.
I feel seen.
It's that meme that you put out the other day of why do you care so much about which guitar pedal effects you use?
It defines who I am.
So, in all likelihood, you won't love music any less or any more than you do now. After the 16th blood, we get it. Let us up. There will still be artists you love and who make you happy.
And there
Oh,
will
wait,
still
there's
be
more to the
They'll
artists
just be
that
the
you-
opposite of the ones that you currently enjoy and or
Okay.
love.
So we've
They
already
will
broken
be.
the barrier with the TikTok video.
Uh-huh.
So fucking hell, just get to the point.
This entire card, all that question, basically just
Four.
reiterated the same sentence.
There's no way that's all on that tiny little card. What's the font on that? You can't read that.
Oh, it's
6. It's
I
font
gotta tell
6
ya.
Times New Roman.
I'm straining, man. There will still be artists you love and who make you happy. They will be all the artists you currently find unlistenable.
Wow, that was a real twist.
Whoa.
What a twist!
So what's the actual point of the card?
That was it.
Now,
It's just a statement.
I own you.
If you're reading this.
We've been put under a spell.
Wake up, sheeple. Now, I concede that this transformation
Train
would
for
make you
swamp.
unhappy.
Yes, it would.
But explain why.
Thanks, Wayne.
Oh, okay. So
Okay. No. Look at me in the eyes, Michael. I'm the
no,
captain.
fine.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You never are impulsive and respond first. Go ahead. No, I don't want to step on your dick today.
So it's a good point though. Why would you be upset? Because all the music that you don't like, you like, and vice versa, right? So why would you be upset at that? Because that's when you start getting into the whole. Are you aware of this? Were you always? Is it like? Are you aware that suddenly your musical taste change? Like
From the way that the question is phrased, the idea would be that you are conscious of this being sort of contradictory to your previous tastes.
okay.
So you'd be cognizant of this change.
I guess. Okay, no, I need to think about it longer. John, take over.
Oh,
He was
sorry.
so-
I was trying to see if I
yes.
could find a clip in time, but I guess I'll just describe it the old-fashioned way.
Thank you.
So
With the mouth
for your
words?
question, Michael, it's kind of like the South Park bit. It's one of my favorite episodes of South Park called "You're Getting Old," where Stan wakes up one day and instead of hearing his favorite things, which is teen bop or like they make up some genre, everything literally just sounds like somebody pooping or like taking a dump.
Why does this always go back
Thank
to
you for discussing what pooping is.
He's projecting. That's all there is to it.
projectile pooping?
So especially if you are, conscious of the fact that something that you once loved now you hate, I would be upset because we create emotional connections and attachments to the things that we enjoy. Like there is an actual science to why those things resonate and connect with you. They're stored in the same place in your brain. Like that's why certain smells will trigger certain emotions. It's all stored. So that means you're rewired suddenly overnight. I would, as a health anxious person, I would think that I was dying if I woke up tomorrow and didn't like Margot and the Nuclear So-and-Sos, or if I woke up and suddenly I hated Era. Like it would devastate me, because also that would mean on the flip side that I was a dude bro who was driving with Five Finger Death Punch on the radio while on the way to Olive Garden. Because if
How did Olive
that's
Garden
gone,
get
if
thrown in
all sense of taste is gone, then I'm just gonna go. I'll eat anything.
Hey, your family there.
Yeah.
there?
When
That's
you're
what
here,
they
you're
say.
here. Yeah. So I don't want to beat a dead horse too much here, but I feel like if the prompt would have said that you don't have any memory of it, like it's kind of like a 51st Dates kind of thing where you just wake up and then all of a sudden you like Sublime and reggae and shitty pop country, then whatever. If you're not aware, then there's not really loss. But if you are aware, that kind of makes it troublesome. And I would be hard pressed to find anybody who would take pleasure in suddenly hating everything they once loved literally overnight.
Cool. You put it in more concise words than I could have, which is why
18
I
circles.
didn't answer it.
Now who's taking the next swing
Well,
here?
I mean, I can jump in and say
Do it.
that it would be terribly strange because I like music that is generally considered popular. Like I don't listen to pop, but
You have mainstream sensibility.
yeah. So to be the person that's like, I'm never gonna hear a song
Such
I
a
enjoy on the
hipster
radio
thing to
ever
say.
again. would
Kind
be
of
upsetting.
bum you
Where
out.
I'm like, oh man, I would become the most hipster person immediately.
And who
Where I'm
wants to be
like,
that
oh man, this
person?
is a lot of indie stuff that no one else wants to listen to right now, but this is what brings me joy. So buckle up, everyone.
Oh, a life not worth living.
Oh, looks like I'm going to be wearing my hair in a ponytail. I am growing a full beard that is not really well kempt. And I'm going to correct everybody every chance I get.
Every single time.
Hey, but
Well,
listen,
actually,
on the flip side, the Damn the Weather play count is going
Would
to
rise.
skyrocket on Spotify. You're going to finally start listening to our music.
Oh, he's the reason that some of our singles.
I'm the only reason there's a play count.
Oh no, our career. Wait, what? How can
And
you
we
mourn something you
value
never
those
had?
80 streams. That's almost a penny.
No, it's not.
Nearly there.
You got to play to win.
Michael, would you care to finish your earlier thought, or
I think he's gone.
have you learned your
John,
lesson?
John
He finished
kind of described it.
quietly to himself
Mhm.
already.
What I usually do
Over
after people
tears.
get frustrated, I just cry in the corner and finish that way. But
All right.
no, I have nothing further to add. John pretty much nailed it.
There's an argument to be made that, some of us who have had enough time for, some of these things to marinate fully, you do fall out of love with certain things, and I would call it maturation, but,
But overnight,
I mean, in certain instances,
like
I mean,
see
that's
the
mostly
point
relationship wise, but not,
like I see the point you're bringing up, because you and I have a text thread at least once or twice per year where I send you a Seether album. I'm like, hey, this is still listenable, but I'm
Mhm.
not in love with it.
oh, you're not in love with it?
Not in love with it, no. But I enjoy it for the nostalgia.
Depending on the Seether record, I'm still in love with it.
Karma and Effect, I still enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not?
But I guess that's another. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your bit.
No, I mean, in general, our tastes will change. That is just par for the course. As being a human being, we undulate like waves, particularly me when laying down. I'm just supple like that. But, so you kind of expect some of these things will happen. Now, given how ardently I love the music that I love, I think it would be exceptionally painful if I pick a particular example and go, tomorrow morning I wake up and I hate Noah Gunderson. And I call it sappy greeting card lyrics set to, an alcoholic lifestyle. That would bum me out. And if the alternative that I have to go away from that is menudo, you might as well just, set me in the tub with the, non-waterproof toaster and just wait for the hilarity to ensue. Because, yeah, that's not a life I want to live. So I would be devastated if I were cognizant of the change and it was something that happened against my will. But some of this stuff happens just sort of through entropy after a while. I feel like you just wind up falling out of love with things that you were really fond of. I have been on the record and am unabashedly and unashamedly, a Dave Matthews Band fan.
Yeah.
I really liked them when I was younger. That has waned pretty significantly over the years, and it's not just on the douchebag factor that, again, Bermuda shorts, bad style, and associations that typically happen. Is just after a while, I was like, well, the first couple albums were a lot of fun, and I just kind of grew tired of the shtick after a bit, but I can still go back and listen to those things and have the nostalgic kind of tinge. And so if you removed that entirely and it was antithetical to everything I appreciated almost overnight, like, I think you would lose that portion of like, oh, because the change in yourself wouldn't be present any longer either. You would not feel that sort of pang. It would be a loss. And it would be tangible rather than just something where you're like, oh, I grew out of it. So yeah, okay. It would be painful.
You essentially hit what I was gonna ask you, because yeah, maturing out and then a drastic night and day thing, as you've illustrated, is completely different. They both can happen, and the maturation, as you said, like that makes sense to me, because I'm there are records that you go back, like you just
because he's a
can't.
very mature guy.
I am super mature. But yeah, I feel like that a lot lately too. You know, I feel the last year was really introspective. You know, because you spent a lot more time with yourself, where like I felt like I went back and I tried to enjoy things that I had before because I had the time to invest to see if it still sparked anything. And it didn't. And even with time, it was still kind of a bummer, where I was like, I remember being so in love with this. Like, what changed? And then I realized that like I eat poop now, and it changes everything about me.
You know, John,
You're falling out.
You are just like a proctologist. You started at the bottom and you stayed there. But I think for me, the thing that probably would make this even more frightening is I tend to fancy myself as having very eclectic tastes because I do like a bit of everything. There's actually very little music I don't like after a while, so it has to be really repellent for me to dislike it. So if you're saying that, you know, what I'm going to be left with is all the stuff I like right now, I'll just kind of not really care about it. But the things that I absolutely abjectly despise will be the only thing I listen to. I'm going to have like Rebecca Black's greatest hits as my playlist. And
but like you'll still love
song,
them though.
Yes.
Which is the song Friday, and then a link to her OnlyFans.
Yes, I will be bopping down the
She's
street.
also featured on a Dorian Electra song recently, in case anyone's interested.
Yeah, because she actually has a musical career that doesn't feature autotune or that whole company that she.
There is a really interesting backstory on her for sure.
But it does mean I will get to explore a good portion of the Billie Eilish catalog finally, which will
William Eyelash.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
That
I
reminds
feel like
me
the sadness is right up your alley anyway. It's just a little bit more poppy.
Yeah, it's a mainstream sadness.
I'll just listen to Bad Guy on a loop for probably a month and a half straight.
Well, that is a surefire way to turn your waterproof toaster into a non-waterproof toaster.
I would hope at that time.
That reminds me, I don't know if it started with our friendship, because you did, and I've said this already probably like 8 times on air here, but your taste, your approach to taste has rubbed off on me because of our friendship. I explained to a coworker 2 nights ago the not ready for it yet spiel, just because she was, you know, we were getting to know each other a little bit over music, and just letting her know like, no, not quite ready for that one yet, but you know, whatever, don't
meet me in a couple of years.
You know, yeah. Becky's made a comment over the past few months about something that she likes about me, which if she ever says something she likes about me, I'm going to really
frame it.
Yeah. And that's that I always try to find something that I like inside of a musical piece instead of, you know, just hating it outright. So there's a band called Loathe. And the first time I heard their album or heard a couple songs of theirs, I didn't really like it.
Appropriate given the title.
But I felt like there was cool bits, you know, and then I listened to one more song after it and it all clicked. You know, I was describing it as the 1975 effect, or like on I Like It When You Sleep, the second album is a ride that you should experience from front to back in one sitting, because it goes through all genres. And if you leave that album still not a 1975 fan, then authentically they weren't made for you. And it's the same thing with this Loathe album, but on a different genre, more like hardcore, post-hardcore. But no, I feel like that resonates with what like you've kind of rubbed off on me, is like, I'm trying to find a way to enjoy this, you know? And if I don't, then I'm just going to admit that it's just not for me yet. It's not an exception for, like, there's some artists that, you know, you just can't get into, but
the thing for me musically is I always feel like I'm a fish in the ocean, just swimming around with the mouth agape. I'm the Billy Big Mouth Bass. Anything that can hook me, I will let hook me. Like I want it to happen. I would be happier to enjoy the music than to find something that I don't want to hear. Because it expands your horizons, and obviously when you're making music, you want more to go into the mixture and make the gumbo a little bit better than if you're removing ingredients. So it's always nice to find something I like, as opposed to going like, oh man, There's another thing that just proves to me that artistic, inspiration is starting to go the way of the dodo these days. Fantastic. Okay, well, here's another mumblecore auto-tune song that I will gladly be putting on mute quickly. So, yeah.
But anyway, I feel like anytime it's gonna happen, it's a duh moment. Whenever there's a music prompt, we're gonna talk a little longer than we usually would, and it's usually gonna be you and I pretending that people don't exist in the room.
Just me and Michael sitting here like, good answer, good answer.
Yeah, I got your signature smirk and nod.
I mean, like I could talk about the songs that I usually also have the same kind of taste.
Hey, why don't you tell the story?
RJD2?
I was gonna say, do you want to tell the story again about when you smoked weed that one time?
This is why I don't usually talk.
I'm here for it. Tell me, Michael. Tell me.
Because you don't have enough weed?
No, I don't. I feel like I need a lot more. But no, I try and sample as much music as I can. I will never say no. I will to a song without hearing it first.
Thank God you clarified.
I've been looking for a man that can't say no.
But the only thing that really turns me off of a song is if I have to hear it on repetition.
Then
just
how
over
do
and
you
over and
like
over again.
our band?
He doesn't pay attention during our sets. You
He falls
haven't
asleep
noticed
against
if you
the post
sit
and
around
gets
with him.
kicked
Yeah.
out of venues.
Well, there's I mean, you fall asleep leaning against a pillar once, anyway, but like I'm talking about like you go into work and you like I can't listen to I used to like Red Hot Chili Peppers when I was young and naive.
Press F.
Yes. But when you go into work for 10 hours and the boss puts on 4 or 5 or Californication that plays 20 times over
The whole
course-
album or just
Yes.
the song?
No,
Just that one
just the
song.
song.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because that album's fantastic. I love me some surf rock.
No, just the song.
All right.
And I just don't like it. I don't like hearing the same song over and over and over again because it kind of dampens any sort of emotional attachment to it. So like that, I can't hear any Bob Marley because he also loves coming in and just putting on 2 or 3 Bob Marley songs. And so just over and over again, like jamming. I now, it just gets, it's dead. I'm dead to it.
What a strange playlist. Californication and
Yeah,
Bob Marley
those are
songs
some
over
big
10
jumps.
hours.
Those are some very big jumps.
I don't understand his musical preferences. I don't.
Now, as an instrumentalist, though, are there bits of the music that you can pull out that you appreciate or admire, or things that you latch on to? Like, the more that you get a repeat listen on a song, there are elements that start to present themselves in your ear that you don't hear on first blush. And I feel like that, because to me, I go down rabbit holes, and this has been documented. Like, I listen to the same things. If I get in the mood to listen to something, I will listen to it ad nauseum. Not necessarily the same song, but yeah, if I like a song, I will tend to just beat the hell out of it and get sick of it, and then I move away from it. But I want to be sure I get my fill, and a lot of it is finding those little nuanced things and the parts that kind of make it more lush and verdant to the ear.
That makes a lot of sense. I am very intuitive about how I listen to music. I listen to it for the emotional, almost like a withdrawal, not withdrawal, like, not like
Well, I get
withdrawal,
no,
but
I get
like,
what you're saying. Yeah,
yes,
you
yeah,
want to be
where-
touched by it.
Yes, yeah. And so when you're getting touched the same way multiple times, yes, I said that for that reason. It eventually kind of feels, it doesn't feel the same. It feels kind of boring. It feels lame. And so I don't. And this might be because I'm a terrible musician on my own.
You're a frog.
I am a hack and a frog. But I can't really listen to a lot of songs in depth, like in terms of like picking out good, like guitar licks or, good rhythms, good beats, whatever. I don't really pick those out. So I enjoy music a lot more for the emotional aspect that I pull from it.
It's like a roller coaster for you. You just want to get on and let it take you places.
Yes, yeah. And so when you get on the same roller coaster 30 times, yeah,
okay,
it kills you.
Just makes you sick.
It's a natural way to bookend it, So
you'd think, but we have not heard nearly enough from our special guest, Jonah.
Well, we have seen his eyes nod and smile.
I mean, I don't have too much more to say on music in general. I feel like everything that could have been said has been said.
I would beg to differ.
It's like, I like human music.
Human music.
I've heard this once.
Sounds
tasty.
Well, we do like to make a meal of it, as we say from time to time, and I do tend to go on a bit, as my granny used to say, before the gushing. And so thank you for indulging us for a moment, gentlemen. I appreciate it. But I think that Chuck had chewed up enough of the asphalt before we got to it that we needed to smooth it back over.
Wow.
Because good gracious, that man was gargling for a bit.
Like me.
We'll finish up. What's everybody's favorite Tom Waits song?
The one that he sings in the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Not a thing, but I appreciate your attempt. All right, then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find you, Mr. Pocket.
About to hit that the what I refer to as the Dumb and Dumber moment. He's strolling out of the circle case, like, hey, big gulps, huh? All right, then. See you later. All right. Well, ladies and germaphobes, podcasters and OnlyFans, we thank you for being here for another fantastic Friday installment of Disinformed After Dark. Keep checking back with us here every single wonderful week because we have loads of content that we plan to throw in high arcing ropes at your face, neck, and chest.
Thick loads.
Mostly at your ears, but I mean, our
Just
aim's poor.
Hole's a hole.
All over your face, neck, and chest.
Yes. Unlike Elvis Costello, whose aim is true. But we hope that you keep checking in with us. And hey, if you're enjoying what you are hearing whilst perusing this little site, we have that podcast. Go check it out. And maybe if you like what we're doing here, you can let us know in the comments down below. And if you really like what you're encountering, Michael's got a couple of instructions for you.
You can smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that bell.
Indeed. Everybody likes a notification.
Oh, yes.
And of course, you can find us here on Wednesdays for the Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles as well. So 3 days of the week, we're keeping you as entertained as humanly possible, or as bored, if you listen to Jonah.
No middle ground.
Who has actively avoided us like the plague.
Never. I just don't know nearly enough about music to talk about it for approximately 30 minutes and also say nothing.
Jonah, neither of us do either. So.
We're not qualified.
No. All right. Well, I think that is going to wrap us in a tasty little burrito for the end of the evening. Thank you all for being here as per usual. And thank all of you for helping to make this a fabulous Friday morning. And we hope you enjoy the rest of the day for Disinformed After Dark. Oh, we do have to. You're right. I'm sorry. Please.
Does Jonah know the sign-off protocol?
I don't believe he does.
Not
We
on
will
this
need
one.
to explain.
Go ahead, Shane.
Oh, I thought I had
Someone
done
has to,
enough
if that's not
talking.
me.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we like to explore all the angles. So we want to know.
As gentlemen do.
Yeah. We sign off with our porn names, and our porn names are going to be your middle name and the street that you grew up on.
Right.
So just get that in your head.
Yeah.
And now we'll
I'm
pretend like if this was an edited show, we would have edited this
No, we
explanation
wouldn't
out.
have.
No, we wouldn't have. No.
I wouldn't
This is
have.
the part that you leave in. It's important that they see behind the curtain.
I really
Also-
like it when people leave it in.
We're talking to the most frequent co-star of Dirty Pictures with Jean Grey Ghost. So,
Very true.
I mean, it's going to be important to see his name on the bill,
Yeah.
right next to hers.
We can actually make a poster once we know this name.
In the upcoming film, Smash That Like Button, directed by Peter Greer. All right, so for Disinformed After Dark this week, I am Kenton Eldorado.
I am Timothy Lone Cactus.
Oh, no clicky.
Oh, no clicky at all. And I am actually Robert Greer, but I'm referred to as many other names. So
dry.
And
Like a
this
desert.
is God.
God is
My
actually
gushy
my
grannies.
favorite new porn name.
God,
God.
Oh man. And
French co-star.
Tyler Jasper.
Tyler Jasper and Gene
Sounds like-
Grego star in. Smash that like button.
Part 2,
Part 2.
the subscription.
May you never itch.
Except for accounts.
Wow, we're gonna make like a cock and beat it. Remember, friends and listeners, we always extol that you live, laugh, and lie.